Connect me as I take the modern Kia K4 for a turn and see on the off chance that it truly lives up to the build-up. The Kia K4 could be a title that's been buzzing within the car world for very a few time. As a mid-size car, it set itself in a profoundly competitive showcase. But what sets it separated from its rivals? For starters, the K4 gloats a smooth plan, progressed innovation, and noteworthy execution specs that make it a drive to be figured with. But is that sufficient to create it stand out in a swarmed advertise? As we dive more profound into the world of the K4, it's worth noticing that Kia has come a long way in setting up itself as a legitimate producer. With a wide run of models beneath its belt, the Korean brand has demonstrated itself to be a commendable competitor to the likes of Honda, Toyota, and Hyundai. The K4 in specific has been lauded for its comfortable ride, liberal include list, and solid fuel economy. So what makes the K4 so extraordinary? For one, its streamlined plan gives it a lively edge that's difficult to disregard. The slanting roofline, precise lines, and driven headlights all come together to make an outwardly striking vehicle that turns heads on the road. And let's not disregard around the tech. The K4 highlights a run of progressed security highlights, counting path flight caution, blind spot location, and forward collision caution. But it's not all around looks and tech. The K4 too packs a punch when it comes to execution. The 2.5-liter motor puts out 190 drive, making it more than competent of dealing with city activity and highway cruising. And with an evaluated 28 miles per gallon within the city and 38 miles per gallon on the thruway, it's clear that Kia has prioritized fuel productivity as well. Kia, as a producer, features a notoriety for conveying quality vehicles that won't break the bank. Established in 1944, the company has come a long way in setting up itself as a major player within the car industry. With a wide extent of models beneath its belt, from the compact Rio to the extravagance Telluride, Kia has demonstrated itself to be a flexible brand that can cater to a wide extent of needs and budgets. The K4 in specific encompasses a wealthy history that dates back to 2014, when it was to begin with presented as a substitution for the specialty. Since at that point, the Demonstrate has experienced a few facelifts, each one refining and moving forward its plan, highlights, and execution. Moving on to the key highlights of the K4, where do I even start? For starters, the insides may be a masterclass in consolation and ergonomics. The roomy cabin gloats premium materials, instinctive controls, and liberal legroom, making it the idealized day-by-day driver for families and commuters alike. But the K4 is more than a comfortable ride. It's moreover a tech powerhouse. The infotainment framework highlights an 8-inch touchscreen show, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, and the extent of progressed security highlights that work together to keep you secure on the street. In the event that execution is your thing, you'll adore the K4's taking care of and increasing speed. The 2.5-liter motor puts out 190 drive, making it more than competent of taking care of turns, and the accessible Dawn mode includes an additional layer of energy to the driving encounter. Of course, no survey would be total without a specify of safety. The K4 brags a 5-star in general security rating from the National Thruway Activity Security Organization. Much obliged to its run of progressed security highlights, counting path takeoff caution, blind spot discovery, and forward collision caution. But what's it like to drive the K4? In a word, incredible. The suspension is smooth, the directing is responsive, and the engine is more than competent of taking care of city activity and thruway cruising. And let's not disregard almost the fuel effectiveness. With an assessed 28 miles per gallon within the city and 38 miles per gallon on the interstate, it's clear that Kia has prioritized reserve funds as well as speed. One of the standout highlights of the K4 has got to be its drive mode framework, which permits you to customize your driving involvement to suit your disposition. Whether you're within the temperament for economy, wear, or consolation, the K4 has got you secured. Of course, no vehicle is culminate, and the K4 is no special case. A few proprietors have detailed issues with the infotainment framework, citing moderate reaction times and restricted customization alternatives. But in general, these are minor bandy in what is something else an extraordinary vehicle. So how does the K4 stack up against its competitors? In terms of estimating, the K4 is competitively estimated against the likes of the Honda Agreement and Toyota Camry, with a beginning cost of around $23,000. But what truly sets it separated is its liberal highlight list, which incorporates progressed security highlights, premium materials, and the extent of civilities that make it feel like a much more costly vehicle. In terms of execution, The K4 holds its possess against its rivals, with its 2.5-liter motor putting out 190 drive and its accessible wear mode including an additional layer of energy to the driving involvement. But what about fuel productivity? Here, the K4 truly sparkle, with an assessed 28 miles per gallon within the city and 38 miles per gallon on the thruway. That's way better than the Agreement and Camry and rivaling the fuel proficiency of half-breed models. I've had the joy of driving the K4 on several occasions, and I ought to say, it's a genuine treat. Whether I'm cruising down the thruway or exploring twisty streets, the K4 is continuously up to the errand. One important minute that stands out in my intellect is when I took the K4 on a street trip to the mountains. The winding streets and soak grades were no coordinate for the K4's responsive taking care of, incapable motor, and I was amazed at how sure and competent it felt. In general, I got to say that I'm awed with the K4. It's a strong choice for anybody within the showcase for a mid-size vehicle, advertising a winning combination of consolation, innovation, and execution. So what's my last decision on the K4? I'd grant it a strong 4.5 out of 5 stars, with its, as it were, disadvantages being minor issues with the infotainment framework and restricted customization options. But do not take my word for it. On the off chance that you're within the showcase for a modern ride, I exceedingly suggest checking out the K4 for yourself. And in the event that you need to see more car surveys and car substance, be beyond any doubt to hit that subscribe button and the notice chime, and I'll capture you within the following video.